Now joining us over the phone to discuss this is member of the Socialist Party, Tom Baldwin. Now we know the youth vote is obviously very important in the next election, and up to 3 million young people, 44%, have not decided how to vote. What issues are most likely to influence their vote?
Well, I think if you listen to the report before, then the issues that young people are most concerned about are issues that a lot of people are concerned about: protection of things like our NHS, services that they rely upon, but it's their standard of living in general: housing, education, unemployment, low pay and poor conditions when they are at work. And those are issues, unfortunately, that most of the parties are not addressing. The main parties are saying very, very similar things, which is mainly along the lines of, we're going to continue all the attacks on these services, on your standard of living, that have happened over the last 4 or 5 years.
Now we know you've just said that the main parties are not addressing the main issues that young people are interested in. We know that Labour has pushed up its campaign about the NHS. I mean, is this something that you think will get them the young voters?
I think, Labour can only gain, really, if they carry on talking about things like the NHS. They've been too timid for too long. But unfortunately, if you look what they're actually saying about it, then the money that they're talking about is nowhere near enough to plug the gaps that existed prior to this government, that this government has introduced with cuts that they've made. And, we're seeing the real kind of impact of what these attacks on services mean with the crisis that's now developing in our health service. So I would like to see, a Labour Party standing for the things that it used to in the past. But I think that the problem is that it doesn't, and that therefore young people are faced with a range of candidates that are broadly saying the same things. And as a result of that, most young people, if they're undecided, may well not vote at all. And I think that is a shame. I'm part of a group called the Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition that's standing in elections on a platform of opposing austerity, of defending our services, calling for an increase in the minimum wage, for jobs to be created and everything else. And we're going out, we're engaging with young people on that. But, unfortunately, there is this kind of idea goes about that young people are apathetic, they don't care about politics and about their futures. Do
you think that they don't care about politics because the language of politics has been stifled and steeped in tradition for some time? Now, if politicians want the youth to vote, they will need to communicate to them well, and how can they do that?
I think things like social media are a way of communicating with young people, but it isn't just the avenue of communication. The most important thing is, have you got something to say to them? Have you got something to offer those young people that are stuck in a job on minimum wage, stuck on 0-hour contracts or out of work altogether, those people that are struggling to get through university because of tuition fees and everything else? And I don't think those parties do have anything to say to them. And so I don't think it's a case of apathy by any means. But I think, people are disengaged from politics because they don't see politics.
Tom, I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop you there. That's all we have time for. Tom Baldwin, member of the Socialist Party, thank you very much for joining us today.